Going to bleed the brake lines today, get some fresh fluid in there using simple things. It's a little tubing right here, your .4 fluid, and a Coke bottle. And some simple tools, and actually pretty easy. Don't forget to wrap the reservoir. That fluid will eat your paint if it spills. So we're going to start on the left side, then the right side, and moving up towards the brake lever. So you're going to start from the furthest one away from the brake lever and then move your way over. I'm showing you this part. The other calipers have already been done. I wanted you guys to give you guys a visual of how exactly it's being done. So you're going to you're going to remove the rubber piece off the valve, attach the tube to it, uh, get your wrench on that valve. You're gonna, to open it, you're gonna turn counterclockwise, obviously lefty-loosey. But before you do that, pump the brakes about 6 times and hold it. Hold it tight. Do not let go. While you're holding it, go ahead and open the valve. You'll see the fluid come right out. And most importantly, do not let go of that brake lever when that valve is open. You don't want fluid or air to get back into the system. So you're going to do this over and over. At the same time, you're going to keep an eye on the reservoir to make sure it doesn't empty out while the fluid's coming out. And continue doing it until you see clean fluid, and also until you stop seeing those little bubbles come through. You want to get all the air out of the system. So I'm just going to speed this up. No reason to wait for me. The tricky part when you're done with this is removing the tube without spilling any of that fluid at the end of the tube. You'll figure it out. Alright, so let's get to the basics. We're going to start here in the beginning, remove the piece holding the lid of the reservoir. Next, take the lid off. Now you're going to want to clean all these pieces. The lid, there should be this white plastic ring, followed by a little black plastic piece on there. It's kind of rubberish. And you can see how dirty that fluid is. So sticking with the parts that I'm going to use just to get this done, I'm just going to remove fluid from the reservoir, get that old dirty fluid out of there. I'm pretty sure there's an easier way to do this, but sticking to what I said I was going to use. I cut a piece off that tube so I can use that. And just get as much as you can without completely emptying it out. You don't want any air to get through there. It takes a little longer than you think. But you'll see how dirty that fluid is when it's sitting in the bottle by itself. So we're going to go ahead and add some of our fluid in there. Try not to spill it. And afterwards, you can either place a piece of paper on top of it or leave the cap loosely sitting on top. It's my preferred method. So we're starting with the caliper furthest away from the brake lever. Go ahead and clean that valve prior to putting that tube on there. Showing you how it is. From this end, I'm going to obviously do it from the other end. Bam. Gotta get the brake lever. So here we go. You can't see, I'm pumping the brakes. Hold the brakes and then open it. Close, pump the brakes again. Hold the brake lever after pumping it. Hold it while you're opening the bleeder valve. And there you go. So just repeat it multiple times. You're going to see that fluid come out. It's going to come out pretty dirty, and then eventually the bubbles will stop coming out. Clean fluid will come out, and at the same time, keep an eye on that reservoir. You don't want that reservoir to go empty and air to enter the brake lines. Be careful when removing the tube. You don't want to spill any of that fluid on the paint on the rim. Here we go for the right side. You can see a little better what I'm doing. Probably not. But just repeat what you do on the other side. Pump the brake lever, hold it, open the bleeder, repeat. Again, can't stress to make sure you hold on to that lever while you have the bleeder open. You're in a whole lot of trouble if you let air get into the brake system. Finally, the last one's up here by the brake lever. You guys already saw this in the beginning. Uh, Once this is complete, you should see the fluid is a lot cleaner. Top it off, and that completes the whole front brake system right there. Rear's the same. Obviously, instead of pulling the lever up there, you're gonna pump the right pedal, peg, whatever. 8mm socket. You're gonna go in there, undo the bolt holding the reservoir, and you're just gonna pull the reservoir out. It's connected to that tube right there. Pull it out right there, and just repeat. Do the exact same thing you did to the front. Simple.